Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. Baton Rouge is in the building. Wakai is in the building. My guy, what's up?
I'm hyped to be here, bro.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Of course. How many Baton Rouge artists have we had on the show before? Is Fredo Banks from Baton Rouge? No,
yeah.
He is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Two.
Yeah.
Who else is from
I think he's from Baker, technically.
Huh?
Baton Rouge.
Oh, thank you. SSG Kobe. SSG's not from Baton Rouge, though. Is he? Oh, he is? Okay.
Well, Lafayette.
Look, he's like, put out. He's like, is that actually Baton Rouge,
but,
though?
I mean, that's like, all right. Somebody staying in Brooklyn, but they don't stay in Brooklyn. I was talking to him, like, how do you dissect the difference? Like, all right, let's say somebody's from Coney Island.
Yeah.
You're from Coney Island or you're from Brooklyn, you know?
Right.
I guess it's the same equivalent.
It's a both, yeah.
All right, but it's like, but at the same time, I can't be like, I'm not from New Orleans, I'm from Baton Rouge.
Right.
I mean, it's an hour away, but it's the same equivalent to you getting on the train, and that's an hour away. But are you representing Brooklyn? Or are you representing, you know? Not with Coney Island, but like in general.
I think, well, are these neighborhoods you're mentioning, are they in Baton Rouge, or are they like an hour away from Baton Rouge?
Nah, like, all right, so Lafayette is like, what would you say, like 30, not 30, like 40, 45 minutes away, driving away from Baton Rouge. That's like another city, you know?
That would be like me driving upstate and being like, oh yeah, I'm in, what's 40 minutes upstate? Give me something for, what's 40 minutes upstate? Poughkeepsie? That's like me living in Poughkeepsie and being like,
I never heard of that.
That's like me living in Poughkeepsie and being like, oh yeah, I'm from New York City.
Yeah. It
doesn't equate to the same thing. So I guess, okay, so they're not from Baton Rouge, but they rep Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, if somebody repping it, that's good. We need as many people as possible at this point.
Right. Is there like a big hip-hop rap scene out there?
I say there's like two scenes. I would say like it's divided on like a eclectic side where it's like a multitude of sounds, like very soulful, kind of like artsy type side. And then there's a side that's like more street related, I'd say.
Right. Like
more
trap, drill,
trap drill, melodic trap. Like there's that sound too. Like it's two sides, but I feel like they coexist to a degree, but there's no like big dog like signing people or like pushing people or breaking people into the industry. It's more so like someone randomly might go kind of far, then they'll get locked up. Or someone might be like, well, this ain't working. I'm getting in my 20s, like my late 20s, and I don't feel like doing it anymore, so they'll just stop.
Right. I feel like that happens here in New York a lot too. Like,
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there are a few, let me not say like all the time, because there are a few people who are actually like doing the good job of like trying to help people like get up and kind of get into that space. But I feel like, you know, when it comes to like smaller cities, and I've spoken to like other artists who are from like the Midwest or the South and like from smaller, would you consider Baton Rouge a small city or smaller city?
But ironically, people think New Orleans is the capital, but Baton Rouge is the capital.
Okay.
It's the capital of Louisiana.
So, okay, in that case, then like, you know, I get it, because it's like, unless you have like that one OG who's like really pushing everybody to like come up and be great, it's like, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. It's harder, but I mean, I don't know. It kind of disciplines you, makes you want it even more because you can't get it easy. You know it could be accessible when you travel, and when you come back, you're like, oh, wow. I've been in way bigger ponds than this, so why am I tripping, you know?
This is your first time? This is not your first time out in New York,
This is not my first time.
What number time is this for you?
Like 4? Like 3 or 4.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Because you have a team from out here too, also.
Right.
Type shit.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to have like a Baton Rouge artist have like a team from New York off the rip, also.
Yeah, and no, shout out them. They see the vision.
Yeah. So how long you been doing this for?
I've been doing it my whole life, in all honesty. First time I got into the studio, I was 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who put you in there?
My pops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was your dad a rapper too?
No. He was like, he always had nice sound systems. So like at cookouts and stuff, he'd be like playing sounds. And then like in the 90s, he was doing a lot of house parties.
Okay.
With my oldest sister was born in 1990, right? So like when she was a baby, they was throwing house parties. And he'd always have like the best sound system. So he had a big like vinyl collection. So he'd just be playing a lot of records, you know? Whether it be like golden age hip hop or like just soul, funk, like what they was growing up to, he'd play a lot of that, and it kind of rubbed off on me, you know?
So like 10 years old, you get in the booth, right?
Right.
Is there a recording somewhere out there of you at 10 years old in the booth?
But you know, it's crazy. I got CDs.
Like you in the booth?
Yeah, from what I recorded when I was in the booth.
Okay.
And a picture of me physically in the booth on the CD. Like,
really?
Yes, man. Another world would never see him. My pops got a whole like, you know them scrapbooks?
It's gotta be an album cover one day though.
This the thing. I didn't use my last project. I used a picture of me when I was young. I was in the studio, but I've done a lot of like younger.
No, but I'm
pictures,
saying that
yeah.
like one picture, like the first picture of you in the studio, you got to use that again for
My
something.
lips was kind of crusty, like.
But I think, but you know what? I think that
Like-
in all fairness, I understand, but I think that gives it character too.
True. Hey, humble beginnings. I'll put it on some merch. I'll put it on some merch for sure.
Okay,
I'll put on some merch for sure. Like literally, like.
but I feel
like,
like if you put it on the merch, you got to put it on the cover.
But think like, imagine I have like something on the front, like even my name Wakai on the front, then the CD, the physical CD, and then like the artwork on that CD on the back. That's
Okay.
hard. That's hard.
I do like that with the picture.
Yeah, with the picture, but like in the CD form.
Right. Okay. I see the vision. Look at that. Yo, y'all taking notes on what he wants to do?
That could be hard.
I'm looking at the team. I'm like, yo,
that could be hard.
y'all writing this down, right? Just in case he
Yeah,
forgets.
like, it could be hard. You know?
That would be fine. So 10 years old, you get in the booth, right? Like, and obviously at some point, were you always taking it seriously, even like in your early teens to like late teens, also?
I say I take it more seriously in my late teens. I started doing a lot of shows with another member of my collective, Josh Simmons, and we'd have a live band.
What was your collective called?
Cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac.
We're still a collective.
Okay.
Yeah, but back then, probably I'd say like 2016 to 2017, we kind of buckled down more, being like, all right, let's get better studio equipment. Let's make studios. Like, do our own makeshift studios. Let's all start linking up. Let's all start doing consistent shows to like polish our craft. And then whenever we could travel, let's just prove like we're worthy of being heard. So kind of, I say like late teens, I really took it serious.
And how did the collective of y'all come together?
Basically, I played basketball in high school for a little bit, and a dude on my team named Jordan brought Josh to my crib because I had a mic and an interface, and I had like a little setup. I didn't have like a stool, but I had a setup so you could record. So he brought him to the crib. Then after that, we just started kicking it every day, and he grew up with another member named Villa, and they grew up in a cul-de-sac. So they named it cul-de-sac. So then it was like us as like a trio, you know? And then gradually, I had another homie, his name is No Chill. He would bring me home from school a lot, and then we would kick it at lunch. We'd be in the courtyard at the same time. We had the same like schedule type thing. So basically, he ended up being around. Then Rondé, where like the last member coming into the group, we'd always see him at the same thrifts. Cause with us, that's just what we were on. Like we were more into like a thrift culture, or what you would say like a East Coast like culture would be when it came to like how we dress. We identify with some of the stuff in the South, but we really bonded on like East Coast fashion, like New York fashion, or even like DMV fashion. Like we were more into that like in high school. So we always go to the thrift, and we kept running into Rondé, and it was like, hey, come to the studio. Cause then Josh ended up getting like the biggest studio space, and we could all fit. So we all started going to Josh's crib, and it was like, hey, we didn't have to formally say it, but we'd be like, yeah, we're cul-de-sac, you know?
And then that's it. The rest was history.
Yeah, those my brothers.
But y'all all do y'all own separate thing too.
Yeah. Like, I mean, sometimes we do like, let's say me and Josh will make an EP and we'll put it out, or me and Ron will make an EP and we'll put it out. But we're like our own entities, but we function together as a team, you know?
Got you. And then once you like start taking it seriously, cul-de-sac, all that, you start hitting the road, doing what you do,
right?
Making music. How much time have you spent like on the road, like going around the country and shit like that?
Yeah, it's like, I say I leave every month for sure.
Every month, okay, damn.
Yeah, I pretty much leave every month. I'm trying to think. Well, at least this year I haven't stayed in one spot for a month. You know, honestly, like I'll either go to LA or I'll go to New York.
How much time do you normally spend out here then?
It's spaces. Like sometimes I go a week. One time I was here like a month, like in January.
And you came during the worst month.
But I mean, worst month to y'all, new experience to me.
Right, of course.
So it was different. I made like 20 songs, like in that 1 month, just from being out here, being on that train with my earbuds, being able to layer though. I love clothes, so it's like I finally have incentive to put on these clothes and layer and like get fly, and then go to the studio, see snow or like see leaves and see them like raking and stuff. Like, I don't know, it was cool to me. It was cold. I ain't saying it wasn't cold, but it was worth it. Like, it was worth it in hindsight. Like, that's something I could tell my kid one day, you know?
Right, because I definitely think that like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like this past like 2 weeks where it's been like 90 degrees outside every fucking day. Right. I'm like, yo, everybody who wishes for this weather needs to go to hell, respectfully. Like for real. It is hot as shit.
But we've been through this my whole life.
No,
like,
I know, but I was just saying, like I miss like the layering and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
True. You get used to it after a while.
Right, especially like when I have to like, cause I hate wearing shorts. But like I like when it's like cool out or cold out, I like coming in just sweatsuits.
Nah,
Come in.
I like sweatsuits too.
Come in sweatsuits, Air Force Ones.
Right.
I'm comfy as fuck on this couch. I'm not even worried. But then now I'm like, fuck. It's gonna be hot out today. I gotta put on shorts. I gotta get, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I don't know. I don't like the cold weather. I'm not saying I want a January back again anytime soon. But like, I like when it's like 50, 50.
Okay, fall
50 is calm.
right before winter. Yeah, that's my favorite season back home too.
Fall
It just
right before
rains
winter.
a lot, you know.
Even like the beginning of winter when it's like cold but not like unbearably cold.
Yeah.
It'd be like when it's like end of January to February. That's when it's like, all right, we in the home stretch, but also I want to kill myself.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel it.
Like,
Ain't no in between. Ain't no in between. Is either I'm hot as shit or I want to die. Like that's how it is out here. Like, but I mean
Hot
at
as shit, I wanna
home,
die.
it's just like in the summer, I get fresh. I get out the shower. Okay, I'm singing, doing all that. I go outside. An hour later, going back home, taking another shower. It's just humid, bro. Like you sweat through all your clothes, bro. And then when the mosquitoes, they biting you, so you fighting the mosquitoes, like getting back into the house. It's way easier out here. It's hot.
No, but it's like that
but
now.
I could breathe out here.
True, but it's like that now where it's like humid and muggy and shit. Like when I was out at I think I was at like a bar a couple weeks or like last weekend, and I'm just sitting back. I sat out there for like a half hour and I got bit like 5 times. I was like, bro. And it was hot as shit. And I was sweating through my clothes. I was like, why?
I feel you.
Like, why am I here? Like, I'm like, now I gotta go home and shower for like you said, the 3rd time today.
Yeah, I mean, you get used to it though, you know?
New York shit.
You get selective of when you gonna be inside, for real.
Right. But going back to the music, get away from like the weather. I want to know like who are you listening to growing up? Like who are your inspirations coming up in this shit?
I mean, I had like it was split between what my mom would play and it was split between what my pops would play because they had different cars, obviously. So like when I was in the different cars, what they'd be running and what my older sister would run, that's what I'd be put on to. So like with my pops, I clung to a lot of like mid to late 90s hip hop. So like Outkast, let me see who else. He played like Outkast, Scarface, and then even mid-90s Tribe. He played a lot of Tribe Called Quest. I clung to that for the most part. And then my mom would play a lot of Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Amy Winehouse, a lot of Amy Winehouse, and India.Arie and Kareem Bailey Ray. So like that's like the holy trinity to me. And then Jill Scott. So I kind of like, I had like neo-soul, jazz mixed in with like nice beats, but still lyricism. That's just what my family was into. Well, like that's what my pops was always into beats, but he was all like he liked lyrics too. Like he like a rapper with a nice tone. Like he likes Nas a lot. Okay. And he likes Outkast a lot. And he likes Tribe a lot. Easy listen to. Like he doesn't really like overly aggressive rap. Like he likes Cole. I think he likes Cole a little bit more than Kendrick. But he loves Kendrick, but it's easier for him to listen to Cole because of his voice.
So that's an interesting way to look at it. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But I see how like all those things kind of come together with like the music you put out too.
Yeah. I mean, it all defines me. Like it all trickles down from that umbrella. And then my middle sister, she would play a lot of more, I say like indie type music. Like for that scene, I would not pop, but more so like indie. Like you get like your Hiatus Coyote, The Internet. You get like that type of sound. So that rubbed off on me as well.
Right. So we just dropped the Flashbacks EP.
Right.
That's the most recent release. So what is this project right now? Because it's been like a little while since the last album you put out, or quote unquote album. I don't know if you will call it an album. But what is this project to you? This Flashbacks EP. What are you flashing back on?
Well, it's really just mental flashbacks of different people I've seen in my life, and then me seeing myself in them. Really. But I did it from the perspective of 5 different songs, and almost they read out how a movie would run. As if you was watching a short film, and at the beginning, I'm frustrated, but I don't tell you why I'm frustrated until you further go down. And then you seeing frustration from the people who are around me. Right. And then really, I'm frustrated at them when I'm frustrated at myself, because I am them in a way. Because I mean, we are human. So it's kind of like these are just mental flashbacks of me taking mental notes and me having like physical memories and reminiscing of this, and then being like, oh wow, maybe she acted this way because I acted this way. Or maybe I acted this way because she acted that way, you know? And then just understanding like we got to find a middle ground within that. And I feel like by the outro, I kind of summarize it all to how I felt to this point. Being like where I am and like in the trajectory of my career, I feel like I'll be able to go back to flashbacks and be like, okay, this is a time where he was trying to find himself, but he wasn't afraid to say that vocally, you know?
What was it also kind of like, was this like your type of therapy too? Because I feel like, you know, you're talking about like all these things that you're flashing back on, good and bad things. Right. Kind of feels like you're just like letting it out.
Yeah, I mean, I have to. I feel like I used to crash out a lot and be so. I wouldn't say I'm an angry person, but it's just like when you don't vocalize, or if you don't have a therapist, or you don't have like someone in your family or one of your homies to play therapy or like play devil's advocate for you, you just kind of lash out at the worst times, and it be things bigger than them and bigger than me, because you can only handle so much without giving it to the universe. So I feel like by now, I have a way of getting my creative output by saying what I have to say, but then being able to have them hard discussions after I make the song.
Right.
Because I feel like sometimes you can make a billion songs all you want to, but if you bottling that up, you just putting it out, but you're not really releasing it, if that makes sense. Like I can make the craziest song about a breakup, but until I go outside and being like, okay, there's more women. I can learn from her, or I've gained so much from her that I could give to the next woman. That's when you find the true growth. I feel like Flashbacks is me looking back to when I didn't know how to grow. So now that I do know how to grow, I've grown, you know? And I feel like years from now, it'll hold true. But like from right now, I'm thinking back about like, damn, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And I'm traveling every month, and this is a lot, you know?
And you're trying to figure out how like you could learn from those situations and like apply it to like now and like your growth now.
Yeah, I mean, I know in hindsight, to someone in Louisiana to see me now, they'd be like, okay, he's cool. But to me, it's like, I'm trying to be as cool as possible and as insightful as possible and as vulnerable as possible, so I can take a bunch of L's so you can take a dub. So it's like, I'm gonna put it all out there. I'm gonna give my all and try as hard as I can, or push you as hard as you can indirectly, like as much as I can, so you can see I was doing this for the greater good of it all, regardless of how much attention is on me, you know? Because I'm cool with just thinking about having flashbacks about good times, or having flashbacks about the bad times, because now that I'm having a great situation, you know? That's clarity for me. I put it out to the universe, and how they receive it, I'm content with that, you know?
I like that. Interesting. And like it's funny how you're also like, oh, I'm doing this for like the people back home who might eventually go through the things that I'm going through, but you're trying to like help them not go through those things, but also teach them about those things at the same time.
Yeah. It's like your parents teach you how to ride a bike, but you're gonna hit a curb eventually. But eventually they're not gonna be there to just pick you up. So it's like, once you scrape your knee, you can't panic. You just gotta be like, all right, wipe this off, put a Band-Aid, keep trucking. Eventually, you got to figure out how to get to that point, because it's not that easy for some people. It's not easy for a lot of people. Like, not to say anyone is like greater than the next person, but figuring out you're going to fall off of the bike, but how are you going to get back up? Like, literally, like, that's the best way I could put it. Like, eventually, you're going to get back on that bike, but when you get back on that bike, are you a better person, or are you a wounded person?
Right.
You know?
And so before that, you had the Two Darkboard project, right? Right. Which, first of all, the artwork is, I love it. I mean, I know it's just like a picture that's like from a 360 cam, right?
Nah, not even.
How did you do that then? Because that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I made the cover. It's a film picture of me, like probably 2003 or like 2004.
Okay, interesting.
I think
it looks like, well, you know what I'm talking about though, like the thing you throw up in the sky, takes a picture.
Right.
That's what it looks like.
I was going for like a disoriented like feeling, and literally like at the end of it, the first track is Survivor's Guilt.
Right.
Like I'm taking you into my disillusions. I'm taking you into my confusion. I'm taking you into everything that I'm feeling like as a 21-year-old now. Like, and then I want you to visibly see how life is looking for me right now, you know? But at the same time, I still see my inner child.
Which is obviously why you're on that. So that's actually a picture of you.
Yeah, that's me. I'm on a horse.
That's a horse?
That's a horse. Yeah. That thing at the bottom, this was at the State Fair, I believe.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is a horse. Holy shit.
It's a horse. And then that's me. That's me on it. I'll probably show you the picture later.
Yeah. And you have Mick Jenkins on the project, which I thought was really cool and unexpected. How'd that happen?
Mick the GOAT. All right, so we were in New York.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I was at Pirate making a song, and I knew I wanted more features, and I was like, damn near done. I was about to put out another song on there called Silhouette. That was going to be the single, but then Mick really went on his IG and was like, oh, I'm doing features today. So I was like, this sounds like a Mick song. So we sent it to him, and then he told us like what it would be, like what it would cost, and then he went down. So it was like, okay, let's do it, you know? And then we was like, all right, let's get this bread. Let's make it happen. And then we made sure it came out on his page as well as my page. And that kind of just put everything into motion for me. So it's like in hindsight, we're thinking ahead. Like we took a king's move instead of just moving up a pawn. Because we already had a very solid feature. One of the biggest songs on the project, like in the song with Silhouette with Marco. Marco killed it, like a crazy feature. But just having that cosign from Mick was like a lot of validation. Even I needed, you know?
Right, because even if you look at the song with Marco, it has like the little star next to it, which means it's obviously like the most clicked on song.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Dope song. How did y'all two then get on that together?
Marco, all right, so Levi, one of my managers, kept telling me about Marco. Like he kept telling me about Marco, like P Marco. Then I peeped him. And I was like, oh yeah, Marco cool. Like Marco cool. And then he's like, bro, like we're very cool with his management. Let's do the song. And I was like, all right. So a hurricane hit. I can't remember what hurricane this was. I went back to Texas where my people stay. And I didn't bring my mic. It was on some like very quick.
But
I
we
knew
gotta
my
get
power.
out of here.
Yeah, I knew my power was about to be out for a minute. Cause for some reason, where I used to stay, like my power would just be out for a long time if it was ever like a severe storm or if it was a hurricane. So I was like, nah, I'm going to my people crib for sure. And I ain't seen him in a minute anyway, so I went. But I didn't have time to bring my equipment. It was more so like I'm just about to pack a bag. And then my people got me, you know?
Yeah.
So I packed the bag. My cousin brought me to Texas. She drove me there. I got there. And I was just in the crib for the most part, because I mean, it was cool in Texas. It wasn't like the weather wasn't that bad, you know, because they live in Corpus. So while I was out there, Curdy, the dude who produced it, he sent me that beat. And I remember, I don't know, for some reason, I was like, I'm hopping on it tonight. So I was like, I got headphones, they got a mic on them, I'm about to record. So I recorded that with like a headphones mic, sent it to my manager, he immediately sent it to Marco. I didn't even know he sent it at first. But he sent it, and then he ended up being like, Marco ended up calling me on IG, being like, bro, you gonna make me turn into Wayne today. And I was like, word? I was like, all right, bet. And then he hung up, and then he sent me back the feature, you know?
And then he turned into Wayne that day.
Yeah, nah, he turned up. I feel like that's one of the craziest features this year, in my opinion. He freestyles, bro.
Oh, he freestyled that too?
Yeah, he freestyles every time.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he freestyles, bro. Because we linked later after that, when I came back to New York after that trip. And we went to the studio and made some other songs. And then I seen his whole like creative process, and yeah, he freestyles it. Like he's crazy.
Everything, wow. I always find the artists who freestyle everything like that they do so like interesting, because it's like most of them like they're actually telling pretty cohesive stories with their raps.
Right.
But I'm like, how do you just freestyle that off the dome like that? Like not even write any of it down too.
But I guess it's muscle memory after a long time.
True.
If you're consistently freestyling, you're writing in your head. You're just figuring out how to pick that pen up.
Right.
And make it stay on the page versus you drifting and thinking about other things while you freestyling, you know?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Also, you know, when I was like talking to, you know, my guy Calvin and some of your people, something that like a topic that came up was like artist development. And like, do you feel like there's like artist development? Does that exist anymore?
No, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in terms of distribution companies, independent labels, major labels. They expect you to have it all figured out when most artists don't, if any artists do. And majority of the artists who end up being able to develop their craft, whether it be from a financial standpoint or whether it be from a mental standpoint, a lot of the times they've been able to break into the industry with some form of guidance, or whether it be like something to blow up on TikTok, or whether it be like just a hit that just blew up in that moment. And through that, either they have a nice team or they have a nice like background when they're in the studio, like mentorship to help them, you know, and help them like cultivate their craft or cultivate them financially. Because sometimes it's like, if I know I had a bread, making the song is not the hard part for me, you know, because I know how it's gonna come out. I already know the finished project before it starts. It's like any like filmmaker. If Walt Disney says, okay, we're gonna give you $10 million to start this project, let's see what you got. Some people are gonna fold, or some people are gonna get inspired, you know? And I feel like that's artist development. Somebody taking that risk because the reward could be crazy. Maybe you give me 10 million, we come back with 100. You never know. But it's like, back then, I guess, in the 90s or like the 2000s, it was more so not frowned upon to build an artist because social media wasn't as prevalent. So I'm under the assumption, because mind you, I wasn't like knowing what everything that was going on. But at the same time, it'd be labels being able to fund the video, being able to help fund the features for someone in Mississippi that I don't know anything about.
Right.
Now it's like, if you from Mississippi, what's your TikTok hitting on? Or what's your IG hitting on? What's your Twitter hitting on? Mind you, I haven't listened to one song yet. But what's your socials hitting on? Yeah, what is all of this hitting on, and what are these metrics telling me? At the same time, if I was an A&R, what are my ears telling me? What are my eyes telling me? Like, I feel like those are the best like things that could be vocalized. But now it's more so frowned upon seeing an artist hurt themselves but be willing to go back in the gym to build that muscle. Now it's like, all right, I want you to have some strong muscles and be extra buff And when you come in here, stay that buff, and I'm gonna check on you next week.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
gonna come see you in a couple of years. See how you doing.
Let's see how you doing. But mind you, I was bringing him to the gym when he was scrawny, when he was a welterweight. Like, nah, bro, that's just not how it is.
That's not how artist development works at the end of the day.
Yeah, like you gotta cultivate something, bro. It's like if you planting something in the ground, like let's say you growing some weed, like you're not about to smoke the weed next week when you put it in the ground. It might take you a whole year to get that weed right, but once that thing is harvesting, you about to be out the gas.
Yeah,
like it's the
that's a fact.
same way with artist development. Like I want something potent, and a lot of things now are not potent. I see a lot of artists who look cool, videos crazy, like look amazing, sound cool, but it don't feel good. It don't strike me. It ain't striking the nerve. Like on my outro, my mama was listening to that song being like, this song has moved me. Or like my pops telling me like, this song has moved me. Like, and they in their 50s. So it's like, if I'm moving them, I know I'm moving towards the right frequency and the frequency that I'm on, regardless who's above me to help develop my artistry. I'm developing my well-being. So eventually somebody's gonna see that other side and be like, oh damn, maybe I feel something right now about this artist. Let me help you, you know?
Interesting. I like that perspective of it. And your parents, they give you good feedback on the music too?
Oh yeah, nah, they fuck with it for sure.
Would they tell you if it's
fuck with it for
trash?
sure. I mean,
If you made a bad song, like would they tell you?
I say I'm very selective on what I show them.
Okay.
And I guess that's pride though. It's just
Maybe.
like you get a B+ on your essay in middle school. You don't show your mama, you show her the A+.
True.
It's the same way with my songs. Like I want to show her something like, I don't know, something. I'm selective. Obviously, I know what's gonna strike they like pros and cons, what they really like out of me when I make songs. But at the same time, you know, I'd rather show them something that I'm proud of because I want them to be proud of me, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they go for my mom and my pops. And even my sisters. Like I be showing my sister stuff when I feel like I know I'm gonna get that validation. And then I be asking for
When
advice.
I know I'm gonna get that validation.
I be asking for advice as well though. Like I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna make sure it's butter. Like I'm gonna make sure it's like it's nice and it's hidden, but at the same time, like I'm not a perfect artist. And the fact that I'm human and me being like inhumane, that ain't gonna help me at all. Like I gotta show you where I am so I could grow and get better, you know?
Facts. What else you got coming up? What else do the people gotta be on the lookout for? What you planning? What you working on? What's going on?
I'm planning on, I'm about to drop a lot of videos.
Okay.
A lot of shorts. You're gonna see some short films eventually.
Nice. You directing them too and all that?
Yeah, I've damn near directed all my videos, made
Nice.
treatments for all my videos. Like I do it all for the most part. I'm just gifted and proud that I have people who can help me harness my gifts so it could be great gifts around the whole bunch, you know?
Right.
And I'm sitting on projects, obviously. Like, I'm low-key sitting on a lot. It's like I could drop another tape if I wanted to right now. I'm just like trying to grow, build a fan base, build like my community, start networking, and then performing, becoming a better performer so I could polish the songs I have now that I'm sitting on so they could be flawless, you know?
Right. When do you think you're gonna drop another project?
Probably
End of the year?
beginning like Q1 next year.
Okay. You just
Yeah.
want to let everything else breathe for the rest of the year?
I'm not gonna dispose everything. Like, I don't want people breathing. I want people hyperventilating. I want people princess. I want people like that.
Yeah.
Like, I
So
want
we'll
people
probably
like
get
that.
something from you by the end of the year. Not a project,
Yeah.
but like singles and shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I
And
feel like my
visuals.
videos give like a different like perception of the songs, you know? So
Facts.
I'm trying to show videos so you can look at the song different, you know?
Word. All right, so people could go check that out on your YouTube page. Of
Yeah,
course.
on my YouTube page, just Wakai. You type Wakai, Wakai, you'll see it.
Word. Before we sign off here for the day, let the people know they can follow you at. Anything else you want to let them know? Now's the time to do it. This camera right here.
All right, what I want to say right now, you don't have to pop 30 beans to be cool. You don't have to smoke 30 J's to be the coolest nigga or to be the coolest girl. You don't have to do all that. You could be yourself. You could look within yourself and be like, damn, my hair is cool. My arms are cool. My clothes are cool. You could do that,
Facts.
and you could follow that, and you could believe in that and trust in that. And if your homies around you telling you you're not cool, maybe they're not the cool ones the whole time, you know? For sure. And follow me on Wakai, Wakai 007, like 7-Eleven, 7. And then follow the Cul-de-sac page, COLDERSAC. I can spell well.
I couldn't. If you put me on the spot, put a gun in my head, I was like, yo, spell cul-de-sac, I would fold. I'll be honest.
Right, that's why I did it. Just in case they're like cul-de-sac,
K,
like K, like you had to get them right, yeah.
Well, make sure you go check all that out. Go check out all the visuals he has out now, all the projects he has out now. The new EP is out now. The freestyle is out now. Go show him some love. Go show him some support. Love and support is free, but y'all already knew that. Till next time, it's on the radar, my guy. Love.
Hip hop.
Boom.